Alright, now I'm gonna try a little experiment. What we have is a snake that obviously looks like it's searching for food and it's interested. I have a rat that I was soaking in cold water, so it's actually cold to the touch, and I'm going to, Jesus Christ, so much for that fucker. Never mind, I'll keep filming. What's good, guys? It's Jason from Nyoka Ball Pythons, and yes, you are looking at a bucket of frozen rats. So if you're not a reptile person, you're probably grossed out right now. But if you are a reptile person, you know that it is feeding time. So I'm gonna walk you through my process of feeding, obviously, frozen thawed rats, pass on a couple of tips, and hopefully you'll learn something in this vid. So let's go. Alright guys, so we're back. Pretty much what I've done is just thawed the rats in some warm water, drained out the water, and put in more warm water because the water was quite cold by the time the rats had thawed out. And that's about it. The purpose or the reason for adding the second dose of warm water, as you will see in this video, the rat really needs to be giving off a heat signature, so the rat needs to be warm. Snakes are opportunistic feeders, and if the rat is giving off the heat signature, it makes it much more visible to the snake, and hopefully you'll get a strike. If this video is a little shaky, it's me doing it by myself, so please be patient and please forgive me. So let's get started. So I'm trying to figure out how to film and feed at the same time, and it's becoming a little trickier than I expected. But hey guys, so I was having difficulty feeding and recording at the same time, so I had to get some help. But what we're looking at is we got our rats that are in their water and they're physically warm to the touch, and you're just offering it to the animals. And it really shouldn't, a snake with a good feeding response shouldn't take long to take the rodent. As you can see, and a lot of the animals can smell the rat and they know it's feeding time and they're ready. Let's do one more. And this is actually a good situation because, oh wait, in a situation like this where the snake does show some interest in the rat but they're not striking, sometimes I find some animals are shy and what I'll do is I'll just leave the rat in there, close their tub, and I'll come back in 10 minutes to see if it took the rat. So as you can see, I came back. I actually heard the strike in the tub about 5 minutes after I laid the rat in there for him, and you can see he took it. So sometimes the snake is gonna be a little shy, a little bashful. Just leave it in there, close the tub in darkness, a little privacy, and your animal will take for you. You going? Alright, so one of the things, and this is one of the reasons why I prefer feeding frozen actually, because I can see the strike. One of the things that I look for is a strong feeding response. Now with this pastel pied, I had her in a different rack and she ate sporadically, and I really had to coerce her to eat when she would eat. Moved her into this rack. Oh, hey. And as you can see, a much healthier feeding response. So feeding response, I'm not sure what the problem was in the other rack, but feeding response sometimes can clue you in and help you to really dial in your husbandry, because if your husbandry isn't right, if the snake ain't feeling right, the snake's not going to eat consistently for you. Here's something cool. Let me see if I can zoom in on her. She does this every week. If you look in between the crack of the tub, because she can smell the rat. And this is what I mean about aggressive feeding response. She knows the rat's coming, so she's pacing back and forth looking for that rat. You want these healthy feeding responses, guys. It isn't the only indicator, but this is definitely one of the indicators of a healthy and happy snake. A really, really aggressive feeding response. That's cool. Glad this happened. Another quick tip. If this should happen and your snake takes the rat and falls in the water dish, you wanna take him out of the water dish, because in my experience, they never eat it if it falls in the water dish, and you're gonna find your rat in your water dish afterwards. So just take him out. You're also now definitely gonna want to change that water, because who knows what kind of bacteria or nastiness was on that rat. So I'm gonna go right now, pull that water dish and give her some fresh water.